This man took his 8-year-old Anya on a treasure hunt in the ruins. An unexpected half-stone slab they obtained opened a mysterious passage. At the very bottom of the ruins, in a crystal ice coffin, lay a girl whose body had remained intact for 1,000 years. The girl held a stone slab in her arms. Later, Duanfei, using his memories from his past life, defeated a spider puppet, obtaining not only the other half of the stone slab but also a spirit crystal, which, when used, permanently increased the target's spirit power by 10%. Perfect for Anya at this moment, the crystal, upon landing in her hands, immediately emitted a warm green light. Then, azure blue spiritual energy erupted within Anya. Next, Duanfei picked up the 2 stone slabs, and the instant they were pieced together, the slabs emitted a holographic image, seemingly a map of the ruins. It turned out that the ruins were modeled after a pyramid, with red dots representing danger and gold dots representing danger. The golden light representing the greatest reward appeared on the 3rd and 5th floors. What exactly was there? And judging from the appearance of the guards, they all seemed very powerful. Anya asked in confusion, "Why isn't there a route to the 3rd level?" Just as Duanfei was wondering, a gate suddenly opened at the location of the spider puppet's corpse, followed by the outermost gate. The spider puppet's corpse then fell naturally to the ground, and at that moment, a passage to the 3rd level suddenly appeared in the holographic image. Just as Duanfei was about to retrieve the stone slab, it suddenly transformed into a 6-pointed star item. Funfei was particularly curious. It seemed this thing would be the key to this ruin. "Let's go, Anya. Let's go check out the 3rd level." Looking down, they saw a bottomless circular staircase. Meanwhile, the team led by Along had just arrived at the 5th level of 1G. This level was quite ornately renovated, feeling like the final boss's room. Could it be this statue? Just as everyone was arguing, the surrounding power candelabras automatically ignited. A crystal stone bound by golden chains appeared before them, and inside the crystal coffin lay a young girl, seemingly uncorrupted for at least 1,000 years. Moreover, the severed arm of divine consciousness he was holding was exactly what we needed. Aaron warned, "King Kong, be careful when you go to retrieve it. The rest of you come with me to deal with the rats following us. Your stench has already given you away." 3 figures in black cloaks darted out simultaneously. Sure enough, they were rats from the cataclysmic organization. The black-robed figure's eyes glowed with a scarlet light. "You traitors who blaspheme the true God, accept divine punishment," Aaron said impatiently. "Enough nonsense. Choose between life and death." At this moment, Duanfei, with Anya, arrived at the 3rd level of Season 1. But Duanfei sensed a terrifying aura beyond the door. Just then, the evolution tree in Duanfei's heart emitted a warning stronger than ever before. It seemed that what he needed was behind that door. Duanfei entered the palace, only to find that the primordial essence, identical to the previous tyrant flower, was completely exposed. Duanfei quietly activated Shadow Strike, preparing to launch a sneak attack. If he could obtain this Yuan gene, what rank would he reach on the evolution tree? Just as Duanfei was wondering why there were 2 giant spears beside him, the previously carefree Zhang Xiang suddenly stared at Duanfei's shadow. "I'm clearly hiding in the shadows. How could I be seen?" At that moment, Zhang Xiang gripped the spear in his hand and immediately plunged it into the stone statue's brow through the tentacle in its eye. "This stone statue is at least 300 meters tall. I didn't even notice it just now. Wait for me in the shadows. I can handle it alone." Duanfei did this to avoid revealing the secret of the evolution tree. Without Duanfei, he couldn't see outside in Anya, but facing the hundreds of meters-long spears, Duanfei's goal was very clear: to subdue the Yuan gene. However, he discovered that the stone statue's material was harder than diamond. Therefore, Duanfei abandoned using his dagger. Perhaps he would have to tear the statue's head off. Duanfei nimbly dodged the stone statue's intercepting attacks, but the Yuan Jing's field of vision covered almost 360 degrees, making his sneak attacks ineffective. Moreover, the statue's strength was comparable to Duanfei's level 8 power, truly befitting its Earth-level status. The monster looked at the vines behind it, and Duanfei's greed was immediately piqued. He activated Shadow Strike, using the vines as leverage, and then leaped into the air with level 8 power. The vines acted like a thick rope, used to lasso the statue's neck. Finally, Duanfei tightened the knot. The vines must have been incredibly flexible, as Duanfei wanted to test his full power. How terrifying would level 8 power be? With the vines taut, the 10-ton statue was instantly pulled backward. Finally, it slammed heavily into the ground. Realizing it had no chance of winning, the Yuan Jing even considered fleeing. But the next instant, the evolution tree detached from Duanfei's body. The Yuan Jing, drenched in sweat and unable to resist, then its roots pierced the Yuan Jing, greedily absorbing its power. In an instant, the purification sapling grew 2.5 meters, emitting a beam of azure light. Earlier in the temple, a stone statue carrying the evolution tree had materialized into a real person, a silver-haired figure landing on the ground. Looking at the woman's curvaceous, golden ratio figure, could you be the true form of the evolution tree? But the surprises the evolution tree brought Duanfei were far from over. Could it be that he could evolve too? A pop-up notification appeared, requiring him to meet 4 minimum requirements to be promoted. The moment Duanfei accepted, not only did all 4 attributes increase by 1 level, but even his S-rank devouring ability evolved to level 2. It was impossible to reach level 2 attributes without meeting certain requirements. After gaining a true form, the evolution tree was indeed much more intelligent than before. After some questioning, the evolution tree seemed to have lost its memory. However, the only thing it knew was that as long as Duanfei continued to evolve, the answers to all these questions would gradually surface.